everyone, welcome. My name is Mallory and today we will be focusing on tight hamstrings. This will be a short little sequence that you can do if you're feeling any tightness in your hamstrings. I definitely recommend warming up a little bit before this since our hamstrings are so sensitive. I'm going to recommend having a strap today. If you don't have a strap, you can use a sturdy scarf or a belt, something that's nice and stable. And then 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use a water bottle or a stack of books. Once again, something that's sturdy. And we will get started on our backs today. So once you're ready, just coming down to your back, letting your legs fall long. Just really beginning to tune into your breath. Starting to notice the inhales and exhales. Just letting your body relax. And then begin to draw your right knee into your chest, wrapping your hands around your shin. Really flex through both feet. Drawing your right knee up towards your right shoulder. Using your breath to really allowing yourself to relax and pulling your knee in a little bit closer to your body. Switching out your legs here. Let your right leg come long, left knee draws in towards your chest. Once again, keep both feet flexed. Draw your left knee up towards your left shoulder. Really see if you can press your right heel to the front of the room. And releasing your left leg. Let your legs come long. Take a nice full body stretch, reaching your fingertips back, pointing through your toes, reaching for your strap. Once again, drawing your right knee into your chest, wrapping the loop of your strap around the arch of your foot. Once again, like we were just doing, keep both feet really nice and flexed. Start with your elbows down on your mat. So you're really flexing through your right foot, allowing your hamstring to warm up. Depending on your tightness, your flexibility, this may be a perfect spot for you to stay and let your body get used to this sensation. If you're looking for something a little bit more and you feel good here, you can begin to crawl your hands up your strap. Just try to keep both shoulders planted. Keep both feet flexed. Continue to breathe. As you start to feel some elasticity in your hamstring, you can begin to crawl your hands up a little bit further up your strap, still listening to your body here. This shouldn't be too uncomfortable. There shouldn't be any pain here. Using your breath to soften. And start to move the strap into your right hand. Getting a nice strong grip, taking an inhale. On your exhale, let your right leg fall open to the right side. Right elbows connecting down to your mat. Still flexing through both feet. Try to keep your left shoulder planted. Really press through your left heel. And use your breath to allow your hips and your hamstrings to open. If this is really uncomfortable for you, you can always rest the outer edge of your right leg or your right foot on a block. Inhale to come through center, switching the grip to your left hand, let your leg fall over to the left side. Keep both shoulders planted. Make it a really nice IT band stretch here as well, depending on your hips, your hamstrings, how much activity you've been doing. So the goal here is not necessarily trying to get your right foot onto the ground, but allowing your body to naturally expand and lengthen. Inhale to come through center, switching your feet out, left foot comes into your strap, right leg comes long. Feeling your spine nice and grounded, bringing your strap into both hands, starting with your elbows on your mat. Really press your right heel forward and your left, keeping both feet flexed. If you're ready to take this a little further and you feel good here, you can begin to crawl your hands up your strap, still staying really active throughout your whole body, and giving your body that time to warm up. Not forcing anything here, just using your breath as a guide to soften. Knowing that it's okay if both sides are at different stages, and that's completely normal. Bringing the strap into your left hand, let your leg fall open to the left. Keeping both shoulders planted. I like to bring my right hand to my hip to make sure that my hips are staying squared. I have a lot of connections to the mat throughout my body. And it's a reminder to keep pressing my right heel forward. You can inhale as you draw your leg up through center, switching your straps into your right hand, and let your leg fall over to the right. Taking your time, keep your left shoulder grounded on your mat. Keep breathing. Here for a couple more breaths. Begin to draw your left leg up through center, bending into your knee, releasing your strap, pressing it over to the side. And take one more full body stretch. When you're ready, bring yourself up into a seated position. You're going to take a couple of forward folds, drawing the sole of your left foot into your inner right leg. Really press your right heel forward. Take an inhale to reach up tall and exhale to fold over. So if you're having trouble making the connection, you can use your strap to wrap it around your right heel. Try to keep your spine nice and long here, so not necessarily folding over right away and rounding through your spine, but try to find the length. Trying to keep both of your shoulders squared down. And switching out to your feet. Right sole comes to the inner of your left thigh. Inhale to reach up tall. And exhale to fold over. So again, keep your spine nice and long. And slowly come out of this, bringing yourself into a complete forward fold. So both heels come to the front of your mat. Inhale to reach up tall and exhale to fold. Once again, keep your spine long here. So we've warmed up on both sides, so you might be feeling a little bit more flexible. If you feel good, you can begin to pull your heart forward and then draw your forehead down towards your knees. Keeping your feet flexed, you'll hear me talk about that a lot. It's to make sure we're fully engaging our hamstrings and our legs. If you're really bendy, you can always bring a block in front of your feet and reach for that. Take one more full round of breath and take an exhale. Bringing yourself into a kneeling position, coming into gate pose. So your right heel is going to extend out to your side, making a connection with the mat. So really sealing your foot, like you're almost in a warrior two if that feels good to you. Reach up nice and tall. Fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. If this doesn't feel good for your foot, you can always move it out to the side a little bit. Take an inhale, reach tall, and exhale, bending over to your right, softening through your left shoulder. Breathing. Inhale through center and switch out your legs. Left foot connects to your mat and reach up tall. Take an inhale and exhale, bending over to the left. Left hand comes to the outer edge of your left knee. Reach up and over with your right hand. Inhaling through center and come to a tabletop. From your tabletop, lift your hips up nice and high, downward facing dog. Now down dog is often a pose that we will take right in the beginning of class. So pedal in and out through your feet. Great way to warm up through your hamstrings and knowing where you are at that day. So take some movement and then find stillness. Your heels don't necessarily need to be touching your mat, but actively reaching. You're using your hamstrings, using your shoulders, your arms. Stepping forward to a low lunge, right foot steps in between your hands. We're gonna drop our left knee down right away, using your blocks, coming into a half split. So there's a few different versions we can take here. You can just drop your hips back. If you have really tight hamstrings, this might be a better fit for you, bringing your hands down to blocks. If you are familiar with half split and it feels really good in your body, you might scoot your right heel forward, bringing your hands to the outer edges of your kneecaps more or less. And in half splits, we always want to draw our toes, our right toes up towards the ceiling, keeping a nice long spine. The more you flex through your right foot and your right heel, you're going to feel a little bit more activation through your hamstring. And you can bring your blocks to whatever height feels purposeful and good in your body. Depending on the day, you might need a different height. As you're flexing through your right toes, you're almost pulling your right hip back a little bit and your left hip forward. So it's really active throughout your whole lower body as well as your upper. And see if you can lengthen through your spine a little bit more. Continuing to breathe. In a really deep half split, take one more full round of breath and slowly begin to come out of it. Returning to a low lunge, you can place your blocks off to the side just for a moment. Tucking your left toes underneath, stepping forward to pyramid pose. So your left foot is going to come in about one step or so. And with this pose, if this is feeling really tight and uncomfortable, you can bring your right foot out to the edge of your mat a little bit more. Your right foot is pointing directly forward as your left foot is slightly pointing towards the edge of your top of your left mat. Great place to bring your blocks back to underneath your hands. You want to keep your spine long here once again, and make sure you're drawing your right hip in. If you didn't have your right hip in before and you're pulling it in now, you'll probably feel that a little bit more. Bringing your blocks to whatever height feels good. And if you can feel that your hips are nice and square and this feels really good, then maybe begin to draw the crown of your head down towards the earth. For me today, really want to focus on just opening up. So I'm going to keep my spine nice and long, reaching the crown of my head towards the front of the room instead. From your pyramid pose, begin to slightly bend into your right knee. You can move your blocks to the side. Coming into a wide-legged forward fold. You're gonna bring your left foot out a little bit further to the edge of your mat. Feet are parallel, more or less. And from your wide-legged forward fold, you can take some movements. Sometimes I like to bend around my knees a few times. This is a great stretch for your hamstrings as well. So wherever you are, maybe you stay lifted here. Keeping a nice long spine, or you can reach for your ankles, or maybe you draw your fingers back behind your heels. Finding whatever feels good for you. From your wide-legged forward fold, bring your hands to your hips, slowly rise up. We're going to move into triangle pose from here. So right heel is going to point to the top of your mat. Hands come through center and extend long. Really find the grounding through your feet. Draw your left hip back as you reach far forward with your right hand. Draw your right hand down towards the earth. You can always bring your right hand to a block. This is where you're really going to feel the warming of your hamstrings, especially in your right hamstring. Extend long through your fingertips. Try to create length through your body. Breathing. Seeing if you can square your left hip up a little bit more. And slowly come to a low lunge. Hands frame your right foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, low lunge, left foot steps forward. Dropping our right knee down right away. We're going to come into half splits on this side, so grabbing your blocks. Take whatever version feels good on this side, so maybe you just scoot your left heel forward right away, or you just drop your hips back. Keeping your spine nice and long, flex through your left toes. Knowing that this is probably where you'll start to see the differences in your sides and your hamstrings. And use your props to help you here. Pulling your left hip slightly back as you press your right hip forward. Keep nice activation through your whole body. You're in a really deep half split. Take one more round of breath. And slowly begin to come out. We'll all return to a low lunge. Bending back into our left knee, right toes tuck underneath. You can keep your blocks nearby. We're gonna step forward to pyramid pose. So you're just gonna step maybe 1 to 2 little steps forward, 6 to 8 inches, whatever feels good in your body. And once again, this may be completely different than the other side. So notice where your hips are right away. You can bring your hands to your lower back or sacrum. And if you feel like your right hip is up a little bit higher, maybe bring your left foot out to the edge of your mat a little bit more. Pointing your right toes up towards the right corner of your mat. Keep your spine long. Here for a couple more breaths. Slowly bending into your left knee, bring yourself into a wide-legged forward fold. Feet come almost parallel to one another to the outer edges of your mat. Adjust your stance as needed. Bringing your hands to your hips right away. Slowly rising up. Taking your time. Really grounding through the four corners of your feet. Coming into triangle on this side. Arms extend out long, left toes point towards the top of your mat. Pull your right hip back as you draw your left fingertips forward. Reach as far forward as you can, and then lowering down. Left hand can come down to your calf, to your ankle, or maybe you bring it to your block. Reaching through your right fingertips, allowing length to be created in your body. Seeing if you can square your hips off a little bit more. And gaze can be wherever is comfortable on your neck. You can look down towards your mat or up, whatever feels best in your body. Couple more breaths. And slowly come to a little lunge, bending into your left knee, hands frame your left foot, and come to a kneeling position. So those are a few different hamstring openers. You can use these asanas or these stretches to warm up your hamstrings a little bit more, get a little bit of more fluidity in your body. Of course, you can hold these a little bit longer. If one version feels really good, maybe you just practice that one. But that's all I have for today. Namaste.